What's up, comic fans, and it's time for that new comic book day haul plus review. So we're gonna get into the books. We got some 50 centers. We got one I read from last week, and then we got this week's books right after this.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Welcome back. All right, so let's get into the books. We'll start off with those 50 centers. This one right here is cover number 1. This is the variant cover. It's the B cover. It's David Mack. But, oh no, this is a Orzu. Sorry. David Mack did cover A. But it's a pretty dope cover. And back in February of 2022, there was talk that this would be an animated show on HBO Max. With the new brass leading it up. Who knows? It's probably dead spec. Alright, next up, we got this cool, like, sideways comic. Right. But in keeping with the Brian Michael Bendis theme, this is David Wemming, who did the art for Dr. Cyborg. There's two different stories in here. There's Dr. Cyborg and Outpatient. This is by Image Comics. I have no idea what year this came out in. This was probably, well, not probably, this is part of a larger set. This is volume 1, published in 2004, 50 cents. Pretty cool. I'll take it. What else do we have? Oh, we have New X-Men 139. And this has the image. This has the origin of Emma Frost. I tried to combine Emma and Imogen. In the book. Plus, you have Christian Frost, who's Emma Frost's brother. So the White Queen and her brother. It's the first cameo appearance in that. Not a big book spec-wise, but it is a Grant Morrison book. So New X-Men, and it's got some origin and some first appearances. All right, next up we have another New X-Men. This is New X-Men 144. And this is the first appearance of Weapon XV, or Weapon 15, whose name is Ultimatum, I believe. Got a Townsend cover here. And it's just a really advanced Sentinel. Hey, 50 cents. Take it. Last but not least, we have Uncanny X-Men 415. Right, and in this one, Iceman undergoes a mutation, kind of changes his appearance. So those were my 50-cent books for this week. All right, next up we got Nightwalkers. Number 1. This is a Cullen Bunn book from Source Point Press. It's a really good story. It's about about a rehabilitation center that houses like these kids who are trying to rehab, who come from money. And one night, they all get told to go to bed early, wake up the next morning, the whole crew's gone, the whole facility staff is gone, they're locked from the inside out. One guy throws a chair through the window, some of them escape, some of them stay behind, and then a monster comes and starts slashing them and eating them. So it's a good old-fashioned horror comic. Cool. Cullen Bunn. It was very well done. I liked it. All right, now we're into this week's books. All these books, by the way, are Marvel. I just went Marvel crazy and I didn't pick up DC books. There was a few I was looking at this week, and indie books didn't get any this week either. All right, well, anyway, we got Miles Morales, Spider-Man number 3, comes face to face with Rabble. And this is kind of an origin story for Rebel. She kind of just lets it out of the bag, what her gripe is and why she became who she is. Turns out she lost the lottery that let Miles into the academy, the school he goes to. And she just thinks that the system has failed her, but that she has to take it apart piece by piece, starting with the smallest pieces. Okay. But overall, pretty good. Like the artwork. It was a good read, excellent read. Yeah, it is a good book, especially if you're trying to, you know, see more of Miles dealing with not just the struggles of being a superhero, but life struggles as well. All right, we got Moon Knight number 20. Still loving this series. In this one, we got some assassins killing people who have helped Moon Knight in the past. Moon Knight's on a race to kind of get to them before they are killed. He finally heads off the assassins at a point. It just turns out that these assassins are taking orders from somebody else, and so Moon Knight's still got to deal with finding out who the main cause of what's happening is. Also, we have a side story with Blade, right? And Blade's asking for help with his vampire proteges. Asking Blade to come along and help them be, better vampires and handle the everyday struggles of being a vampire. And Blade just kind of says yes right off the bat. And Moon Knight's like, you never say yes that quickly. And there's a backstory about how another Fist, the Khonshu, worked with him back in the day, back in the 70s. And he owed him a favor. So he said, sure, I'll do it. Next up, we have Silver Surfer Ghostlight. This one, this family moves into a house that the uncle had died in, left it to the family. Kids go searching for stuff, find like an underground lair, uncover this like gun cannon thing, shoot it off, energy signature. This Ghostlight character appears in the ground, and then Silver Surfer shows up, and he's like, who's been messing with my friend's tomb? And that's kind of where it ends. So it says the next great superhero saga starts here, so we can only imagine that Ghostlight will be a superhero. Though the next cover looks like Silver Surfer and Ghostlight will be fighting each other. Alright, the next book is Dark Web Finale, number 1. And this is the pretty much tie-up of Dark Web. This is a Peach Momoko cover, by the way. Overall, it was a pretty good wrap-up. Wouldn't say great wrap-up. At the end, Chasm is still not whole. He still has issues, right? I will say that Limbo gets like its own UN building in the city, right? So Limbo gonna become part of the landscape of the city. And yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much, I guess, the gist of it. They stop Chasm. Madeline Pryor takes on, her BA attitude and gains control of Limbo again. It seems like they're going to be part of the regular world, and Limbo will now be part of the city. And Chasm again he's captured, and they're gonna, I guess, try to rehabilitate him, but we'll see what happens. And Spider-Man feels really bad about it. Okay. Next up, we have another Dark Web tie-in, Venom. And this issue, so Bedlam ends up as part of the team going in to stop King Chasm. And this episode or this issue is basically about what happens right before that. We get to a part where Dylan is literally going to kill Bedlam, and then Bedlam gets saved by the Goblin Queen, and ends up part of the team, and then does some. Once he gets to Dark Web, starts slicing and dicing some of that sinister. The Insidious 6. That was the word I was looking for. Yeah, it's pretty funny. A little gruesome. They don't really show much, but it's shadows. You can tell somebody's head fell off. Last but not least, we have Bloodline, Daughter of Blade. This seems to be a heavily spec book. When I was looking at websites, a lot of people seem to be pre-ordering it. I don't think the price has jumped. This is the Ryan Stegman cover, by the way. It's like cover F or something like that. Probably even cover H. It's interesting. I could say it's a little bit YA, young adult. But what we have here is Bloodline and her mom are hanging out. They get attacked by a vampire, you know, and then they start talking about the fact that, you know, they come from a family of kind of vampire hunters, right? And Bloodline was supposed to be kept out of that, but she's realizing she's developing powers and so forth. And then she goes hunting and runs into a classmate who also turns out to be a vampire hunter, and that classmate knows that, you know, Bloodline is a vampire hunter, but not just a vampire hunter, a vampire. And so at the end of the issue, we have that classmate going stab or stake Bloodline, and that's kind of where it ends. And I'm pretty sure that Bloodline is not going to get staked through the heart, or this would be the shortest comic series ever. But it wasn't bad. It was good. It was a good read. If you're a Blade fan, you know, you'll figure you'll see some Blade in this book, so, you know, go ahead and pick it up. If you're looking for something for a young adult, this might be worth a read as well, because the character seems to be kind of relatable. I wouldn't know. I am not a young female at the moment, or nor was I ever a young female. But it does seem like a book that could be accessible to younger adults. All right. Well, comic fans, that was my comic haul plus my review, you know, my little tidbits that I had to say about the books. And we had some 50-cent books in there, and I read that Night Stalkers from last week, and that's a really good book by Cullen Bunn, all right? If you like the content, hopefully you're in the right place to be, because we're talking about comics here. So if you like comics, you're in the right spot to be. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell. Go ahead and throw me a thumbs up and comment below. Comic fans, do what you do. I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to get ready for next week's books. Peace.